central planning, control freaks, authoritarians, thieves, and parasites, they will love coming across, right? That's their go-to motif. That's like rule number one in their book of how do you take control of populations. That's the underlying principle, the unwritten rule that the political or the ruling class uses to propagate their message and put on this pretense of benevolence. Like, oh, I care so much about these people. Oh, we got to help the poor. We got to help the poor. Meanwhile, what they really do is plunder, steal, and micromanage the poor to prop up themselves. They're the ones that benefit economically, socially, and politically from this, right? They don't actually help the fucking poor, or the poor that they do help, it's only for a small or short time frame so that they can become their surrogate parental authority, more or less, right? It's like, oh, I'll take care of you. Oh, I'm going to act out this kind of pretense of benevolence, and don't worry. Hey, you people from other from these third world or emerging countries, yeah, oh, look at how kind I am. I'll bring you to my country, right? And don't worry. Well, I mean, I'm not going to fucking, hey, no, well, no, of course I'm not going to give you any fucking portion of my income that I received as a result of this forced wealth redistribution model, or under the pretense of theft, right? Taxation. No, I'm not going to give you any of that shit. But don't worry, I'll make these fucking Canadians pay for your shit. Look at how kind I am. Look at how benevolent I am to the little people, right? Meanwhile, like I said, they're not the ones doing any of the hard work. They're not the ones sacrificing any of their wealth, any of their income. You're not going to see any of these fuckers living paycheck to paycheck, right? That'll never happen. It's never happened, and it's fucking never going to happen in the future. But they love to pretend. They'll even put on a little tear a little once in a while. Oh, look at, I'm so nice. I'm so kind. I mean, they're fucking actors. Actors and actresses can do that shit too. At the drop of a hat or on a dime. You want tears? Yeah. Hey, I got them. Don't worry. I can conjure them up real quick. Look at that. I'm a great snake oil salesman. I'm a political actor. And I do it so well. Look at the masses, right? It's that Machiavellian fucking bullshit, man. Stop falling for this crap. I'm trying to help educate and inform the rest of Canada so you don't keep falling for this bullshit where it's like, well, yeah, maybe I should let them. Well, listen. Do you notice that you're getting fucking poorer while they're getting richer? Do you? You must, right? Unless you're part of the connected or ruling class or some of these crony corporatist fucks. But if you're outside of that realm, you know you're getting fucking poorer, right? You know damn well that's a reality. But yet, someone else on the other side of the political aisle might be even worse. So you're like, oh, but I'll keep fucking legitimizing the authority of my political leaders because, oh, the other team might be even worse. They rely on your indoctrination. They rely on your stupidity. They rely on your ignorance and your absence of critical thinking so that they can keep gaining authority, their power over you. And man, are they ever benefiting financially and economically as a result. Not just socially, not just politically. They don't just get to walk around and chest thump how powerful they are. You know, they are actually fucking living the high life because of your indoctrination, because of your fucking stupidity, because of your naivety. Come on. Jesus Christ, Canada. There's lots of us out here trying all the time to help you the fuck out. Give you a little self-esteem. Give you some semblance of self-respect. Trying to point out some economic realities to you. Trying to say, hey, listen, it's uncomfortable. You know, truth sometimes is not the most appealing thing, right? You might have a little bit of uncomfortable sleep tonight, learning some of these truths. But don't you want to stand on your own 2 feet? Or are you really telling the rest of Canada that no, I prefer my sheepish ignorance. I prefer my master taking care of me and protecting me and stroking my ego than standing firm on my own, in my convictions, in my principles, and doing the right thing. Headline. An issue that pulls at the heartstrings. MPs review rules that reject immigrants on medical grounds. Critics say existing policy discriminates against those with mental and physical disabilities. Of course, CBC Politics, hello, right? Fucking propaganda central in Canada. And Canadians, I see there's still a fair amount of you out there that are falling for this kind of bullshit rhetoric. A lot that aren't. I see the comment section. So, yeah, there's a fair amount of Canadians that are like, ah, fuck you fuckers. But there's still quite a bit of you that are quite stupid. quite ignorant to reality, or you benefit tremendously for yourself, or maybe the people that you surround yourself with, or external factors that you align with. There's somewhere in your life that for you to agree with this kind of fucking bullshit, there's somewhere that you're benefiting from this forced income or wealth or distribution model, or bringing in, like, I mean, think about it. Even myself and my family, I'm a compassionate person. I'm very kind to people until you treat me wrong. Then I'm fucking, yeah, then the teeth come out. You treat me like shit, you're going to find out like, ooh, fuck Bennett, man. This guy usually is a really, really good guy, but, oh, man, you mess with him, yeah, the teeth come out. You damn skippy. But just like in my family, I'm very compassionate. I'm willing to help people in my family. But when my income is stretched, or if I was massively in debt, which I'm not, I'm one of the few Canadians that aren't massively in debt, but if I were, no, I wouldn't be able to say, oh, well, I can't afford to assume the task, role, or responsibility of helping people that I really do recognize that probably do need help. But if I'm indebted and I'm going to fucking force my own family to sacrifice or starve to death as a result, as a consequence, I'm just going to have to say, I can't do it. Can't do it. My existence and my family's existence supersedes everyone else. Sorry, that's just a reality. That's a harsh reality, I know, but it's just a reality that every human being functions under, except a very, very few. Most human beings, yeah, they're going to take care of themselves and their immediate family first and foremost. Recognize and realize that fact, because that is the reality of the world that you live in. Trying to upset the apple cart, or upset the natural balance, or upset what human beings are instinctive about, right? The instinctive nature of human survival, and carrying on that bloodline, and taking care of themselves and those they care about first and foremost, you're never going to beat that out of people. You're never, ever, ever. All the propaganda, all the sales tactics, all the bullshit narratives, all the dictatorial edicts, methods, political methods, or instruments that you use, you're never going to beat out of humans or nature the fact that in order for them to strive and survive and thrive, they need to take care of themselves first and foremost. There's never going to come a time when humans are willing to destroy themselves to be pure sacrificial lambs at the altar of political central planning. That's never going to happen. That's why you're seeing time and time and time again that all these socialist models are breaking down and shown to be the absolute failures that they are intrinsically and instinctively. That's never going to happen, folks. You know, even hypnotists, no algorithms, nothing these central planning types, none of these authoritarians, these control freaks, nothing they do will ever have the ability to turn nature upside down and inside out. It's never going to happen, and there's going to be countless people that'll suffer tremendously as a result of all these continuous attempts to do so. Members of Parliament are reviewing the rules that reject immigrants because they could be a drain on Canada's social services and healthcare system. As it stands, applicants can be refused if their condition is a potential danger to public health or safety, or if immigration officers believe they could cause excessive demand on the system. Yeah, duh. That's just common sense, folks. Determinations are based on whether anticipated costs are expected to exceed the average Canadian per capita health or social services costs over a 5-year period, or if they could add to an existing waiting list that might delay care for Canadian citizens or permanent residents. Yeah, of course. There's only so many fucking doctors. There's only so many hospitals in this goddamn country. So the more and more people you bring in, these immigrants, right, and force these doctors and these social service, these safety nets to have to cater to everyone, well, you know, there's, like I said, finite resources, right? There's, like I said, that's just a reality. So the more and more people you try to force into that system that has restrictions because of the limitations and the finite resources at their disposal, yes, you are going to greatly affect and hinder those who have already paid in the system for decades. Yeah, bringing all these new immigrants might be beneficial to the central planners because they look at them as either tax slaves or cash cows, or loyal subjects, serfs, and slaves for a political ideology that they will vote for them. I mean, yeah, that's all that political strategic bullshit. Yeah, that might work out for the central planners, the control freaks, authoritarian among us. But like I say, it places a massive and increasingly heavy burden on the domestic population that at some point and at some stage of the game in every country, and you can try to paint them as Islamophobes or racist or nationalist or fucking whatever kind of negative stereotype or connotation you want to use to point towards these people, they will at some stage of the game say, listen, nope, got to take care of myself and those I care about. You're never going to beat that out of people. You're definitely never going to beat that out of fucking Canadians. And every attempt where you try to do so is only going to cause the political landscape to shift once again to more nationalists, to more divisiveness, to more hatred towards those that they perceive as people that are taking more and more of their share of the big pie, right? This is where all this fucking division, this is where all this hatred, this is where all this outrage, this is where this economic depression and divisiveness in politics and the political, social, economic structure in Canada, this is where you're seeing why this great divide, this great chasm continues to open up. It's incumbent upon us to push back against this stuff. I do my part. Help me help those by doing your part as well. It's Canadian Libertarian, and I love liberty.